evening, and welcome to Sporlitiks, where sports and politics mix and mingle since 2011. I'm Stacey Johnson, and joining me tonight is Aguna, the voice of reason, who isn't on yet, Stephen, the independent thinker, Keith, the constitutional conservative, and my cousin Todd, who is, here's cousin Todd. I was just saying, and my cousin Todd. Let me put on the, let me stop. Don't you hear all that moving around he's doing? So I'm going to put him on mute because you hear all this scratch, 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 scratch. Oh my gosh. Look at him. He's still moving something. We have a packed show for you tonight. I'll let you watch him do all his stuff that he's doing. Jake Clayton, his nomination has been approved, but I want to know, how could it have been approved by a Republican-led senator or Senate when Senator Mitch McConnell is nowhere to be found and the governor of Kentucky is asking him to show up or resign? Stephen, in NASCAR, the Kansas City mayor faces voter fraud charges following a USCIS assistance problem. Todd will talk to you about that. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, and Keith, the Iranian war is kind of on hold, but it's not on hold. We've been bombing them, and then we stopped. Who knows what's going on with the Iranian war? We'll talk about that. Hawaii lieutenant governor was indicted in an alleged bribery scheme. And New Jersey voting, where New Jersey Governor Mickey Sherrill refuses to hand over information to the Department of Justice on 6,600 non-citizens who are registered to vote on the rolls for the state of New Jersey. And last but definitely not least, the Philadelphia 76ers, we'll let Aguna talk about it, is welcoming LeBron James. They're welcoming LeBron James.
What do you mean we'll let Aguna talk about it? Aguna doesn't have to talk about it. We can talk about it.
Okay. No one asked you anything about sports, cousin Todd. First,
well, I'll be done then.
Thank you. First up, Stephen with NASCAR. Stephen, I think I have something to play for you for NASCAR. You can tell me if this is correct to play. No, that's not it. That's not it.
Hello, why are you trying to find that?
Here it is.
Okay.
No. We don't need you to fill in for anything. Nothing.
I wanted to fill in Stephen with a slap across his face for double talking.
Well, can you wait until he finishes his NASCAR report?
Yeah.
If I let him get through it.
All right. Here we go, Stephen.
But we start
you want to hit Stephen.
400 is wrapping up with Corey Heim winning the race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He is a first-time winner at the Brickyard, but it's the second year in a row his team has won it. And get this was actually the first time he's even raced at IMS. 70,000 people attended the race, which is one of NASCAR's crown jewels. And our Dominic Miranda was there for all of it. He's live tonight with Track Team 13 coverage. This was a good one, Dom.
Yeah, it was all sorts of fun here at the Brickyard 400. Indianapolis Motor Speedway never disappoints. And Corey Heim had to fend off the likes of Joey Logano, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, those who've been there, done that. The 23-year-old says, hey, listen, I know I'm a part-time driver, but it's my time to shine. He wins the Brickyard 400, one of the crown jewel races. Like you mentioned, what a race it was for Heim. But, I mean, it was Carson Hocevar, the pole sitter at the beginning. He was flying, and then pit strategies came into play, and it was really a cycle of Hocevar, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Corey Heim, Michael McDowell, all battling for that position. Denny Hamlin made a strong push near the end of this race with 43 to go off a restart. Denny Hamlin takes the lead. The gloves were off at that point. He has won race win away from getting the Grand Slam of Crown Jewel events for NASCAR, and it's this Brickyard 400. So you can imagine how badly Denny Hamlin wanted to win this race. Another caution happened. There were 5 of those here today. Ryan Blaney getting spun out. It cost him $1 million in the in-season challenge. Todd Gilliard getting the $1 million right there, beating Ryan Blaney. But after that restart with 34 laps to go, Corey Heim took the lead and did not relinquish it. Again, your top 5, Corey Heim, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin was 5th, Chase Briscoe was 4th, Joey Logano was 3rd. Again, these are guys who have had a lot of success in NASCAR, but Corey Heim would not be denied here at the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It never disappoints. The weather played nice. It was a great crowd on hand, and the 23-year-old, like you mentioned off the top, Jenny, 23-11 racing, back-to-back wins. And it's funny, Corey Heim takes the lead from Denny Hamlin on that last restart. Denny Hamlin's one of the owners of the team who just won the Brickyard 400, so maybe some conflicting emotions there. Doesn't matter. Youth movement here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Corey Heim gets it done. We're moments away from catching up with him, seeing how he feels about getting this win.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll have coverage for you, full coverage of this race, full encapsulation of the day tonight for you at 11 o'clock. But Corey Heim, to the winner go the spoils here at the Brickyard 400.
It is always.
If you shut your pie hole, I'm going to go up across your face.
Everybody's so violent today.
All right.
Yeah, you can say that again. Ooh.
Steven.
Yeah. So this is crazy. He's a part-time driver on this team owned by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan. They have Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Riley Herbst. They're the full-time drivers, but sometimes they'll let this guy Heim race. And he won his first race earlier this year at San Diego, which was ridiculous. And then he just won Indianapolis, which is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. It's just this team. Denny has won about 4 or 5. Riddick's won about 4 or 5, give or take the other one, either one of them. But they have just dominated this year. This whole team has dominated. And this guy's not going to be part-time for anybody. I don't know if he'll be with this team. He probably should stay because this year they're blowing everybody away. It was a really good race, but I had Bell who finished second, so that wasn't so much fun. And I wish I had the 67 Corey Heim. But next week they have a race. They haven't been racing here very often either. It's a short track. It's the fastest short track. It's 7/8 of a mile at Iowa, and it's a Saturday night race, which I love a night race. Which that's going to be really, really, really nice.
Where's it going to be? What state?
Ma'am?
What state will it take place in?
Iowa. This could be in Iowa. And it's a D-shaped oval. And like I said, it's on Saturday night. I mean, I can't remember the last time they had a Saturday night race. I'm happy for it. And the people that usually do well at short tracks are people who do well at road courses because it's almost the same kind of mentality. But this is a really fast track, and it's going to be interesting. We have the top 5 for NASCAR right now is Hamlin and Riddick, which they've won the most races, so they're first and second. And then you got Blaney in a Ford. Hamlin and Riddick are in Toyotas. We've got Blaney in a Ford, Gibbs, and Hocevar wrap it up at the end. But Hocevar is another story. He's new to racing, but he's been tearing them up pretty good. He hasn't won a race yet this year, but for him to be in the top 5 at this point says a whole lot about his driving skills. He's a different kind of driver. They say I talked about Dale Earnhardt Sr., who died at Daytona around 2000. This guy drives a lot like him. He just lets it all go, doesn't care, and if anybody's mad at him, he doesn't care. So he keeps racing really interesting.
Okay,
it makes it a lot of fun.
Did you bet on any races?
He just said he did.
Which one?
I had Bell, and he finished second. I should have bet on him. I usually bet to get a top 3. But I was like, I'm pretty sure he was fastest in practice.
Well, you don't get paid if they come in second, right? Only
if I bet top 3, then I would. Yeah. So I'm kicking myself for that. But I'm still happy this guy won. He's tearing them up. He's gonna be one of the lead drivers next year. And for him, just to be a part-time driver and to win 2 races, it's actually absolutely unheard of. So it's been a good year so far. We're about halfway there. little more than halfway.
That means
Well,
that Cousin Todd could race and win too if this guy can race and win. Because Cousin Todd doesn't know anything about sports or NASCAR racing.
Excuse me, that's where you're wrong, but I'll let you be dumb then. I lost money too, Stephen, because I bet Stacy that you would send a video of you cooking this piece of meat that you pretended you were going to cook.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Keith told you better not cook anything for them or I'll go across your face and we'll be broken up. So
no,
you
said, see, what you don't understand is I cook every week on this show. So, I don't have to cook a piece of steak.
I'm
I cook
not
every
talking
week.
about your makeup baking. We're not talking about you baking your makeup.
Right.
We're talking about frying a piece of meat.
It was circumstances beyond my control. So it was it was a sirloin bison is what I really like a lot. Have you ever had bison?
That's why I wanted you to make it. And all you have to do is put a camera on the meat frying. And
if I make it, you're not gonna be able to eat it unless I send you some.
Stacy does that all the time. She cooks butt naked all the time.
All right.
So
now you're reading me and exposing me.
So now look, I was just wanting you to make this meat, put a camera on the meat, tell your ingredients, and that's it.
All right.
It's no big deal. 60 seconds at the most, 30 seconds.
All right. I'll do it next week. I just hadn't gotten around to it. I'll do it next week. Just be patient.
Sure, he will. All right.
I will. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week.
All right. Todd, you went out. It's
I'll make two of them to make up for it. I'll make two of them.
Storming here in the East Coast.
Good. Which side are you going to make? Are you going to make any sides? You don't have to.
No, just two pieces of meat.
Okay.
I'm going to do two because I didn't do it this week, so I got to make up for it.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you. Now we're going to the WNBA and Keith. Now, Keith has taken on the WNBA like a champ. And he's done an excellent job covering it. So we're going to see what he has to say.
Just a minute, Stacey, because you saying these things are offensive because you said last week, oh, she's the woman of your dreams. And then Stephen jumped all over because he got halfway jealous. But he jumped all over and said, yeah, it's the woman of your dreams to make his wife jealous. And Keith had to say, I'm married. I already have the woman of my dreams, and watch you two squirm. And so.
Well, Keith's wife, Elizabeth, has a great sense of humor. She's a great fan of this show. She knows we're just joking. She knows.
Oh, sure.
Keith's apple of his eye and the woman of his dreams. She can take a joke. She doesn't need you, Todd, to add to the peanut gallery.
Is she the apple or
she
is
already
it
knows how Todd is. She knows how Todd is, so she's not worried about him at all. He doesn't intimidate her.
If she don't know by now.
She knows the caliber of Todd. Anyway,
right. Let me play the video, Keith, and then you can talk about it, okay?
After controversies on and off the court, WNBA star Caitlin Clark now speaking out.
There's obviously a lot of people that like to comment on my character and think that they know me.
The Indiana Fever guard facing criticism for her fouls and aggressive play, now leaving her one incident away from a single-game suspension.
That fire is what makes me me.
Fever coach Stephanie White.
She has awareness.
But Clark was the subject of recent headlines last month when Phoenix Mercury player Alyssa Thomas received a one-game penalty and fine for appearing to put her fist over Clark's throat after she fell to the floor. The flagrant foul imposed after the game following a review by the league. Thomas getting death threats in the aftermath, Clark condemning the calls for violence.
It should have been dealt with in the moment.
And after a recent USA Today opinion piece described Clark's behavior on the court when fouls aren't called on her opponents as histrionics and a sign of her flopping, Clark fighting back.
Wow.
There's just like a false characterization of who I am.
And hearing these encouraging words from a famous fan during the WNBA All-Star Weekend practice in Chicago.
Caitlin, how are you? Really nice to meet you. You're great. You're fantastic.
Former President Barack Obama telling Clark to ignore the noise.
Don't let all this nonsense get you down.
It was cool to hear that from him. Honestly, it's probably a good reminder for all of us of treating people with respect, treating people with grace.
Valerie Castro, NBC News.
Ned Todd's going to love her.
Now Todd's going to love her. I thought he was
Yeah,
making fun of
all
her.
right.
You know how you say to people, "You're great. You're fantastic. Love you always,
Well,
Ted."
I think that's great. Todd, you're
She's the best.
Go ahead,
Well, I
Keith.
think Todd's former president, now that we know that he likes her too, I think Todd will be a little bit nicer. And,
Does
you know,
he like her?
as for her character, I like this story here. I got here over this is over X. And someone comments and says that they attended the WNBA Live. It is some type of meet and greet. And Caitlin Clark and maybe a few others were on time. They were there. They stayed the whole time, whereas some of the other players did not. It says
Like
Caitlin
blacks, like the blacks.
Well, I don't know. I don't know which ones did or didn't. But it says a couple, they commended her, said that she showed up. Some of the other ones showed up 40 minutes late, signed autographs for 10 minutes, and left. It says this happened several times throughout the weekend. It says their children were very disappointed. It says that Caitlin, however, she showed up on time to everything.
Yeah.
And she also was punctual in every obligation.
But the black ones, they probably had to go and sell drugs.
I think
so. That's why
to me,
they couldn't hang around. The blacks probably had to go and sell drugs, so they couldn't hang around there like that.
Or do their weekend jail time.
Can I finish, Stacey? All right. So I was just saying, I just said that shows the difference in character, and I think Caitlin Clark has a very good character. So, you know, what she's saying makes sense, though, as far as them calling shots or calling plays on her, against her, but not against her opponents. So it's good that
good point.
It's good that Obama came in, and if he was sincere, I don't know, but I'm not worried about that. At least he goes on record as speaking in her favor. So I think Todd will like that.
It's all about what Todd likes,
Yeah.
right?
Well, if you could play that clip again, which I don't want you to do, but I want Keith to play it himself at home, and look how sarcastic and animated and overdone it is. And then I think you have a different opinion.
No, the girl is good at what she does, Stephen, and
She's very good. She's very good. Nas had said
she's
been good since she was
the
like
best.
9 years old.
Yeah, that's one reason they don't like her, but there's a couple other reasons they don't like her too that we all understand.
But for
somebody to say that she flops or she does anything wrong is ridiculous. They never watch the games. They never see anything. I saw her on the ground and one of the girls grabbed her crotch. It was awful. They don't call it. They don't call anything that they do to her. But she does anything, they're going to call everything on her because it's completely biased. The referees are against her.
Maybe she's a dragon bear.
It's just no. Well, she's not a lesbian, so that's one reason. You know, she's not grabbing anybody's crotch. So lesbians are grabbing her by her crotch.
The WNBA is a very physical game.
It's a
very physical game. Todd,
that's exactly right.
Nobody gets physical treatment the way she gets treated. Nobody.
Oh, get out of here.
Nobody.
Hey, Stephen, do
they beat her down because they hate her.
Stephen, they don't even do that to the men, do they? The men, they don't do that to each other, do they?
Well, a gay man will grab a dude by his crotch, but that's very rare.
Right,
you don't have that as much in men's basketball.
Thank you, Keith.
How would you know, Keith?
WNBA. Watch this video. Aguna said he'll be on, but until he comes on, let's watch this.
Well done.
Now, LeBron James has decided that he wants his next team to be the 76ers. Where do you stand on LeBron versus Michael Jordan as the best ever?
Well, Michael Jordan's a guy that's a friend of mine. Play golf with him. He's a really good guy. And I think LeBron is, maybe he's a racist. but maybe he doesn't like Trump. I don't know. But I only like people that like me. So I would say Michael Jordan all the way.
And another sports question. When Tiger Woods was about to get arrested, he called you. Now we know that when Bryson DeChambeau was having a dispute with a rules official this week, he wanted to call you. You got involved with a red card for the U.S. men's soccer team. Is there a precedent for somebody with your job becoming a fixer for the world's best athletes?
Well, it's not a fixer, me being a judge. Like, I thought the Bryson call was a tough call. I saw him walking around. I see a lot of people, they're walking around looking for their ball and weeds, okay? But I've been watching that, so, I thought it was a tough call against him. I thought the red card was a very tough call. And it worked out brilliantly. Look, supposing that they didn't let him play and we lost, everyone would have been angry, right? The way it was that they lost with their best player. Now everyone's happy, including Belgium. Of course, they lost the next game, so they're not that happy either. But it worked out great. Johnny did a good job in making that call. All I did, I asked for a review. I thought that call was not a good call.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all
President
Trump unloading on.
Sorry, let me stop playing that. Stop sharing that. Keith, we'll start with you on President Trump interfering with sports, plays, officials, and teams.
Well, let's see.
Trump
is an American president. He has no right to comment on different sports or, talking about team.
He didn't comment. He called the team. He called and challenged that red card.
Keith is talking. Keith is talking.
Yeah.
She didn't ask you,
I don't
Todd.
think he knows the
Hi,
story.
cousin Todd.
She didn't ask you, Todd.
My turn. Yeah, so I'm just saying, why is that such a problem? I mean, I don't know.
Because no president has called, FIFA and said, hey, I didn't like the call. Do it again.
Well, they don't have to do it because he said so.
He's the most powerful man in the world.
Not really.
Is anybody home?
He doesn't have a say over that. He doesn't have a say over that.
He made FIFA an offer they could not refuse.
Now, what about President Trump saying Michael Jordan likes him and he likes the person who likes him, and he doesn't think LeBron likes him, and he thinks LeBron is racist? Do you think that? Excuse me. Do you think that people are going to think that LeBron is racist because President Trump insinuated he may be?
I don't know what Trump is talking about, him being racist. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't really keep up with it. I mean, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. LeBron is okay, but LeBron is way past his time, and he takes off more than half the year just so he can rest up for the whatever else, for the playoffs. But yeah, about that. But no, just
LeBron.
No, what was the first?
He's racist.
But Trump has no right. Trump, like Todd said, he has no role in this. He should not say call FIFA. He should not try to insert himself in anything like this. I think he's got enough going on right now that he should concentrate on what he has to do. But he needs a spotlight, and that's why he's a president anyway. He needs to be out in front of everything, and he wants all the cameras on him. And he should not have the sway for FIFA to do that, because what he probably did was make somebody a deal or give somebody something or promise them something. And it just doesn't look right. It looks really – no other country has had a problem and called in and said, hey, make this happen for our player. Turn your decision around and let him play. That's just wrong, and I'm glad we lost, because it made him look stupid. If we had lost because the guy wasn't playing, then we'd be like, we're so mad because that was a bad call. That's the way it's supposed to be. The president's not supposed to call and say, this is what I'm gonna need from you to do. He's not talking to Zelensky.
Okay.
This is sports. The president should stay out of it.
While you're there, Stephen, why didn't you say this when Trump did the same thing about the football player?
What football player?
The black football player who he cursed at and said he should be thrown off of every team. Nobody should hire him.
When was this? Like 6, 7, 8 years ago?
I don't care when it was, Stephen.
I just need the
question.
reference. I need the reference because I can't remember. What was the player? What was the team?
He's talking about Kaepernick.
Oh, why didn't he just say Kaepernick?
Because he doesn't remember any names and he tries to cover over the fact that he doesn't remember names.
No cap, Todd. No cap.
So
yeah, the president shouldn't jump in like that. You know, I think it's ridiculous. He wants to be on everything.
Well, Stephen, he said, why didn't you say that back when that happened and we were talking about it like 10 years ago?
Because I may have. And then we don't remember. How do you know?
I remember, Stephen. I remember
you watch or listen to every show all during the week because you don't work. So that's what you do all week. You listen to every show, you watch every show. That's your life. And you tell me what I said or what I had for dinner 12 years ago.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
You work because anyway. Stephen did not say this years ago, but he's a flip-flopper, so you can expect
I've never
totally
flip-flopped.
different.
I've never flip-flopped. If what I support changes, if my president says, I will not take you to Iran, Kamala Harris will take you in a war to Iran, and then he goes to war with Iran, I didn't flip-flop. That fat son of a gun flip-flop. Not me. I'm consistent. So that's not a flip-flop. Those are flat shoes.
Thank you for not cursing, Stephen. I appreciate that. You did not curse.
I had to clean it up for the children. You know, people like Todd.
And so, okay, now, but prior to, you were never Trumper. You said, I don't like him because.
Right, I was a never Trumper, but then he did stuff that appealed to me. And there was the issues. It's not about Trump, it was issues. Most of the issues was 80-20 in favor of the Republicans. We didn't want men in sports. We didn't want this and that. We didn't want this, that, and the other. And we were 80-20 on the issues. I couldn't vote for that. And when you got Harris, Harris and Walls. No way. They were terrible candidates. I couldn't vote for them.
Okay, I'm going to say this, then we're going to move on. They weren't issues, Stephen. They made you think it was issues.
They were issues.
Or women's sports, that's not an issue. But they know how dumb you are.
It is an issue because women were getting hurt. I know you don't care about women, but we care about protecting women.
Oh no. It's less than 1%, ding dong.
We care about it's once too much.
So it's a non-issue.
It's not a non-issue.
All they have to do is say that to you.
I'm saying I only said that as an example. Wait a minute. It doesn't need to be all that as an example. There were 20 things that I'm not going to go in and name them all, but there's 20 things that was an 80-20 issue. We were all on the same page, and Donald Trump promised all this. He's going to give up the Epstein files. That's what he promised. He didn't do it. I didn't flip-flop. He did. So you can't call me a flip-flopper anymore, Todd.
I knew he wasn't going to do that. Aguna knew he wasn't going to do it.
So you knew it because you have crystal balls.
You are the only ones who believe that crap.
You got crystal balls. That's why you knew. Me and Keith are real men. We don't have crystal balls.
Common sense. Common sense, ding dong.
You knew did you know he was going to go to Iran? No, you didn't.
I didn't believe anything he said, just like you didn't in the beginning.
Well, that's easy.
He was going to do something bad to blacks, remember? How did you get a crystal ball? Did you have a crystal ball to know that? Shut up.
No, with the plan that they have, the blacks and the browns are going to be the first ones to get hurt. So I was right back then when I predicted it. I didn't know it would be as a second term.
You must have had a crystal ball. So
all right,
it came true. Anyway, I got a crystal ball here. You have them swings.
He's so weird. He's so weird. Okay, to answer that question, well, never mind. The president has no business even interjecting himself in on anything that isn't presidential. That means sports. That means anything that has nothing to do with the American people's way of life, benefiting them through health care, which he has concepts of a plan for health care. He wants to abolish the Affordable Health Care Act. And so all he should be focused on is the war he's gotten us into, The health care that has been taken away. Do you know 6 million people have lost their health care now? 6 million. Under Obama, 20 million people got health care who didn't have it before. Now, 6 million have lost it under Donald Trump. So instead of him worried about LeBron James and whether or not he thinks LeBron James is a racist, why doesn't he talk to Benjamin Netanyahu and ask him why did he convince him to go to war, which
Isn't
and
Obamacare
stay in war? He said 2 weeks. It is now almost 6 months. So Benjamin Netanyahu knew that this wasn't an In-N-Out burger.
Yeah,
we're going to be there for quite some time.
Isn't Obamacare still law? And if that's the case, then how is it that people have lost their health care?
Move on,
Stephen, can you
I
answer that?
think they were the illegals he's talking about. A lot of illegals lost their health care when they got shipped back to their country, I guess.
Here you go with the illegals again. You're the same ding dong who said the illegals are on Medicaid, and there is no illegal on Medicaid, crackpot. Oh, but they know how dumb you are, so they tell you this so that you can believe it and repeat it.
Okay,
illegals can't get Medicaid.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. Thank
Where
you.
you think that?
They can get a lot that we can't get. That's what they got. They got free housing. They got free money. They got a lot of money. Like we got money. We got
around the world gathering to remember Graham, a testament to his outsized influence on foreign policy. ABC's Olivia Rubin with more from the services where President Trump spoke about Graham's legacy.
Oh.
An emotional funeral today in the nation's capital for late Senator Lindsey Graham. World leaders gathering to pay respect to one of the most influential forces in Washington. President Trump making these remarks about a man he has said was like family.
He was a man who gave America the full measure of his good and mighty heart until that heart itself just gave out.
And the late senator's niece with this emotional tribute.
His world revolved around my mother, his family, and those he considered such.
Earlier, a ceremony held on Capitol Hill, where Graham served for more than 3 decades. His sister, Darlene, who will finish her brother's term as senator, visibly emotional, placing her hand on her brother's flag-draped casket. Vice President Vance saying this.
I remember Lindsey Graham as a man who loved people. And because he loved people, he was willing to reason with them.
Attending the funeral today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, a testament to Graham's fierce support of the two leaders. Both also meeting with President Trump while in town, meetings the White House called, quote, positive and productive. Former Vice President Mike Pence also attending the funeral today, telling me today he is remembering a man he not only worked with, but considered a friend.
Lindsey Graham was a statesman. He was an American patriot. What I'll miss the most is my friend.
And a White House official confirming the U.S. Air Force will rename Joint Base Charleston in South Carolina after Graham. Another memorial service is set for tomorrow in the senator's home state of South Carolina. In Washington, Olivia Rubin, ABC News.
Okay, does anyone, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the late Senator Graham? Does anyone want to make a comment?
Wait a minute, let me finish doing Erica Kirk.
No.
What?
This is Senator Graham's time.
Oh no, I'm saying I'm doing an imitation of Erica Kirk. Now I'm going back to Graham. Now you just show the part where Trump said Graham loves war. He loves war more than anybody. He's the biggest war hawk ever, and he loves war. There was never a war that he didn't want to be in. He loved war. So if that his niece or whatever said how much Graham loved people, he loved people so much. If he loved people, he wouldn't be the lover of war that he is. So that's where she was wrong. And that's why he was a bad guy. And that's why millions of people have died because of him, because he loves war so much. And I'm anti-war. And that's when that's one reason Donald Trump lost me.
Just a minute. I don't know what you're talking about. See, and you say these
What do
things.
you mean? What do you mean?
Just a minute. I'm explaining it. Millions of people have died. Stephen.
What?
Millions of people haven't died in
They have
any
died.
wars. Stop it.
I'm talking about accumulative.
What
Yes.
wars did he start that millions?
I'm not saying he's a war hawk and he pushes every war. Afghanistan, Iraq, all the other wars that he's been in office. It's been over 1 million people, 1.5 million, maybe 2 million. That can add up to millions. But what I'm saying is he's been pro-war ever since he's been there. And he's also a pro-life senator. How can he be pro-life if he's pro-war?
Well,
doesn't make any sense.
Ask Keith. He's same thing with Keith. He believes in capital punishment. He believes in electric chair, but don't hurt the babies. Are you nuts? Anyway, it's hypocritical. Lindsey Graham. I thought Stacey was going to play the clip of Lindsey Graham.
Okay, excuse me. You asked me to play a clip. I have to find it, Cousin Todd.
Okay, but I just thought you would play this clip that I wanted you to play of Lindsey Graham saying that Donald Trump was a xenophobic racist.
Oh yeah, that's when he was running against him.
Okay, all right. Wait a minute. I think I got it right now.
Yep.
Just a second. Let me play this.
They'll say anything.
God.
He's a flip-flopper.
They won't say that.
You make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell. Well, I'm going to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. He's going to take all the problems of the world and put them in a box and make your life better. That's what he's selling. Here's what you're buying. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. Why don't you ask me, is he a racist?
That was my next question.
Okay, why don't you ask me?
Do you think that he is a racist?
Absolutely not. Let me tell you what. You could be dark as charcoal and lily white. It doesn't matter as long as you're nice to him.
Stephen, that sounds like you. Flip-flopper.
I did not flip-flop. He flip-flopped. Now, there's your example.
Listen what he's saying.
Name down, and he's not helping the process, and he shouldn't be commander-in-chief. If you want to be commander-in-chief of the armed forces, you need to understand that John McCain and all like him, not just John, are truly American heroes. And then when you put yourself in harm's way, that makes you a hero. But you know what I think makes you a hero? When you're the spouse raising kids when your loved one's deployed. I've been in the military for 33 years. It truly is a team and a family. Mm-hmm. So what he said about John, I think, was offensive. He's becoming a jackass at a time when we need to have a serious debate about the future of the party and the country. We're on the verge of giving an Iranian Ayatollah, who's a radical jihadist, a pathway to a nuclear bomb. The world is literally falling apart. We're becoming Greece here at home. And all we're talking about is Donald Trump and everybody he insults. But he's crossed the line here. There may be some frustration with our border. I get that. That's no justification for landing on it. Huh?
What's the line he crossed?
Saying that John McCain and people like him are not American heroes. The American people will not tolerate what he is doing now regarding those who have served. This is a line he's crossed, and this is the beginning of the end of Donald Trump.
Senator, you seem angry.
I am really pissed because John, oh, come on. You know, John and I have been buddies. Forget about John. What about Bud Day? Medal of Honor winner in Iowa that I got to know through John. I cannot tell you how many prisoners of war I've met through John McCain, and all of them are incredible people. So it's just not about John. It's about all those who've experienced captivity And when they asked Trump, well, do you know what he went through? No, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter. It matters a damn lot. It matters a lot that you would be tortured for 5.5 years trying to defend your nation. So
One over.
I'm confident the people of Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina will figure this out. But I'm really, frankly, tired of this. The world is falling apart. My party's trying to reemerge as a viable national voice. I think we're on the verge of a good comeback here. And every time I turn around, I'm being asked about Donald Trump, saying one dumb thing after another, and I'm tired of it.
Okay. You make a good point. John McCain, he's not talking about this a lot. He doesn't want to talk a lot about
he
this.
Won't.
He says he doesn't need an apology from Donald Trump. What do you want to hear from Donald Trump, if anything?
Tell me what you'd do about anything. Tell me how you'd solve the immigration problem. Tell me what you'd do with Iran. Articulate a solution to America's problems. Stop disparaging people like Senator McCain. It doesn't elevate you. It gets us all off in a ditch. Try to realize you're running for the highest office in the land, the strongest voice in the world, and take the quest more seriously.
You say this is the beginning of the end of Donald Trump.
I think so.
Why then is he still topping the polls, Senator? The new ABC News Washington Post poll, it was just released. You probably haven't even had a chance to see it since you were in your event. He's now surged Donald Trump to 24%. That's nearly twice the nearest Republican rival.
Yeah, but I think what's going to happen is that we get serious as a party about picking our nominee. We're going to look at ourselves and say, who do we want to send into the arena to win the White House in 2016? Who is the best person to represent our values? We are the party of the military. The thing I like most about my party is that we are strong on national defense. We've had a history of being the soldiers' best friend and their families. So what Donald Trump said about John McCain and all those who have served is out of sync with our party. Our party is a group of very hardworking, decent people. So when Donald Trump said that most of the illegal immigrants are rapists and drug dealers, I think our party will say, no, that's not who we want in the arena with Hillary Clinton, because that voice is a loser's voice. I want a winner's voice.
For you, the campaign continues. Senator, thank you so much.
Continues.
That was a long clip. I didn't know you were going to play all of that.
Well, that's when he was running against Trump.
Well, sounds like he was wrong about everything he said. So there you go.
He wasn't wrong about McCain. He wasn't wrong about that.
Extremely hawkish. I will tell you, he never saw a war that he didn't like. Only his true friends would understand that, but he wanted it for the good of our country. He felt in his bones that our destiny is to win, and that his job was to do everything he could to ensure our enemies would lose. It was this conviction that led him to serve 33 years in uniform in the Air Force and Air Force Reserves and Air National Guard, even while he was in office. Lindsey Graham believed in a strong America, wanted a strong America. He had unwavering faith in the righteousness of American power and prayer. He was extremely hawkish. I will tell you, he never saw a war that he didn't like. Only his true friends would understand that, but he wanted it for the good of our country.
Okay, you wanted me to play that, Stephen. I played that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. Yeah, it shows I'm telling the truth. It says a lot. I mean, he did a few good things while he was in, but I mean, he's as compromised as everybody else. So everything comes to light. And
okay,
I am sad he died.
Finally made it. Late. The show's
My
on.
bad, Todd. I want to apologize to Cousin Todd.
All right,
I owe you a video, and I came late again, and that was your biggest complaint.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yes, I am.
Right, so let me play this. Aguna. I have 2 videos to play for Aguna. This is one.
Today, it was announced LeBron James has decided that he wants his next team to be the 76ers. Where do you stand on LeBron versus Michael Jordan as the best ever?
Well, Michael Jordan's a guy that's a friend of mine. Play golf with him. He's a really good guy. And I think LeBron is, maybe he's a racist. but maybe he doesn't like Trump. I don't know. But I only like people that like me. So I would say Michael Jordan all the way.
And another sports question. When Tiger Woods was about to get arrested, he called you. Now we know that when Bryson DeChambeau was having a dispute with a rules official this week, he wanted to call you. You got involved with a red card for the U.S. men's soccer team. Is there a precedent for somebody with your job becoming a fixer for the world's best athletes?
Well, it's not a fixture. You mean being a judge. Like, I thought the Bryson call was a tough call. I saw him walking around. I see a lot of people, they're walking around looking for their ball and weeds, okay? But I've been watching that, so, I thought it was a tough call against him. I thought the red card was a very tough call. And it worked out brilliantly. Look, supposing that they didn't let him play and we lost, everyone would have been angry, right? The way it was that they lost with their best player, now everyone's happy, including Belgium. Of course, they lost the next game, so they're not that happy either. But it worked out great. Johnny did a good job in making that call. All I did, I asked for a review. I thought that call was not a good call.
Oh, man.
Wait a minute. I got one more. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Todd, you got some nerves. You
one
asked
thing at a time. Why can't he just answer quick and then move to the next one?
There is no quick.
The excitement came in at a fever pitch.
Oh my God!
Philly fans in disbelief.
We got LeBron, baby.
After LeBron James, a four-time NBA champion and basketball legend, picked the Philadelphia 76ers as the last stop in his storied career.
Philly? The Sixers?
The reveal coming after a multi-week wait, with LeBron only offering this teaser before the World Cup final.
I think when you trust the process of actually getting to that point.
But the team who's always said trust the process is now the destination, with LeBron joining a lineup stacked with all-stars and passing on storybook options like his hometown Cavs, Miami Heat, or Steph Curry's Warriors.
LeBron James.
James writing today, "This is my last decision. I'm not going for money. I'm not going for family," adding he picked the Sixers for a chance at the feeling of winning another championship.
Let's go.
Supercharged at the thought of it, with StubHub saying demand for preseason tickets spiked more than 200% in the hour after the news.
LeBron fans travel with him, so there's going to be a whole new contingent.
As the city of brotherly love is embracing the king with open arms. Sam Brock, NBC News, New York.
Yeah, this is like Christmas in July. I mean, for LeBron to come to the Sixers, that he's pretty much the greatest player in our era right now. And this never happens in Philly. We never have that superstar coming to our market for whatever. It's like Tom Brady going to Tampa. He's going there specifically to put the Sixers in the finals and to win a championship. It's going to be great next year. Anything less than the Eastern Conference final, if not the final, is a failure. I mean, Embiid doesn't have to carry the team anymore. I can take 30 games from Embiid. Just get to that playoffs healthy. You got Maxey. You got Brown. Brown was going to be the MVP. He carried the Celtics by himself last year. So you got both of those guys, and then you still got a really good depth at bench on the Sixers. So this is a storybook season shaping up. Now, of course, injuries aside, but anything less than the conference final is a failure because you got too many weapons. You got too many guys that can take the last shot. You got Embiid doesn't have to do it all. He doesn't even have to be a person in the locker room anymore. He doesn't have to be that dude in the locker room. Man, that's huge. Embiid can just be Embiid. He doesn't have to carry the weight of the team anymore. He can just be this role guy. And then if we can get a little bit of depth behind him, I think it'll be a good year for the Sixers. So it's definitely great to see King James. I mean, Philadelphia is the second largest market outside New York in the East. And so he's been in Miami. He's been in Cleveland. He's got a situation in Philadelphia where he can really add to a legacy. And then, of course, the Sixers haven't won a final since '83. So it'll be, a little premature to say crown us yet, but we should definitely be in the running, and he's definitely a difference maker. Now, all that stuff Trump is saying, Trump doesn't know he doesn't care. He just wants to kind of poke the bear there. He's not really into sports like that anyway, but yeah. So that's neither here nor there. But it's exciting time to be a Philadelphia fan / Sixers fan. So the city is good news for the city.
Trump is into sports.
Betting on him.
Well, he's always been
into sports,
going to games. But on that Trump thing, we talked about how Trump had no business getting involved with the red card crap and all that kind of stuff. And to go a little bit deeper into that, the person in question was a guy who's from Europe. His mother and father are from Europe, but she came to the United States on a visit and she was pregnant. And so they told her, you can't fly back. So she had the baby in the United States. And after she had the baby, she flew home. Now, Trump is totally against that. So now all of a sudden he's adopting this boy. And he said before.
So about, Todd didn't say who he's talking about. He's talking about the United States soccer team. You never said who you were talking about, Todd. And the mother was a British citizen. You never explained any of that. If Todd,
they all know this
English. If you learn, everyone who's listening doesn't know this. Maybe we know it, but Todd, if you learn how to speak English, other people who are watching.
Okay, well, let me just say this. Let me just say this because I'm going to say this and I'm finished. This is about us acquiring James Cleveland. LeBron James. Just because he's coming to Philadelphia to play for the Flyers doesn't mean we're going to win the World Series.
Surprise.
Thank you.
Hey, Aguna.
First.
Hey, Aguna, I don't understand. Why would Trump say that James is racist? Does James have a problem with him? That's what I don't understand. And do you think Embiid might take a bit of an exception not being the man, having that role taken away from him? I know you wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it either if I've been that guy. That could be some tension that could hurt y'all.
No.
Like in a Devo.
He's too lazy to care about stuff like that. Embiid just wants to be able to coast. And, and Trump saying LeBron James is racist, he was just saying something to say. There's no way that LeBron James could be racist.
No,
but there's no reason for him to say it. Does he think? Does LeBron ever say, "I don't like you. I don't like Trump"? Is he anti-Trump?
Stephen, why are you trying to make sense out of Trump? Remember, he said he's not going to any more Middle East wars. Remember?
Right.
So
I just want to know if Aguna had any insight in it. I didn't know.
Nah, I don't think LeBron has anything against Trump personally, other than some of the impacts that his policies have had on his community, right? So you talk about, especially when you talk about healthcare and some of the things that LeBron, has been getting into activism. And remember, who was that? Was it Laura Ingraham that said "shut up and dribble" kind of thing when it came to
I think so. Yeah,
that's right.
But you have Bosa and some of those guys in Dart, Jason Dart, have been at Trump rallies, and so athletes are citizens. They can have opinions. They can disagree.
That's right. But the president,
they have a right to one vote. Each athlete does.
But the president,
but it's crazy for him to say LeBron is a racist. Our president of the United States said a basketball player is racist. That is bizarre. It's so bizarre, but we're so overwhelmed by Trump that we can't even sit here and appreciate how bizarre that is.
No, we can, Stephen. You can. We've been doing this for years. You haven't.
You didn't say anything. Hardly. You didn't say anything about it. You weren't asking any questions.
Remember, hey, Aguna. Remember, he did this football player like a dog. His name is and he said
Kaepernick.
You remember
that has nothing to do. You're going back 10 years or more.
And this is
stay on point. It's about LeBron James.
He's been the same person all of his life.
But he didn't call anybody a racist.
We're running out of time. We got to do our round table. Let me play a little bit of this. And then we were going to
He
do a
said they
roundtable
should
as well.
fire he cursed about, oh gosh. That's amazing. Stephen didn't say nothing then. Now all of a sudden, oh, I can't believe he called somebody a racist. Ooh.
Thank you.
Position to the nomination of Jay Clayton, the Director of National Intelligence. He has repeated baseless conspiracy theories about American elections, refused to acknowledge who won the 2020 election, and participated in an abusive investigation of American journalists while providing false testimony to Congress about that investigation. It has been clear for months that under this administration, the main qualification to be DNI is the willingness to use the position to spread conspiracy theories about elections and to help Donald Trump make it harder for Americans to vote. Even before.
Okay, we're going to stop there. So,
Stacey, can you ask a question? Can you ask, does everybody have a passport?
okay, not yet, sorry, not yet, sorry, not yet. Can I finish my point on what I
Go
was?
ahead, Republican.
Oh my gosh, I can't even get a word in edgewise. Now, the Senate, the United States Senate tonight has confirmed Jay Clayton to become head of the nation's intelligence agencies, putting a will you stop eating so much that you got the wrappers going? Putting a permanent director in place weeks after President Donald Trump sought to delay his nomination. This is according to APnews.com. Clayton, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and a former Securities and Exchange Commission chairman, was confirmed in a vote of 51 positives to 47 negatives along party lines. Republicans originally hoped to confirm Clayton in June, but Trump delayed his hearing in order to allow his temporary pick for the job, Bill Pulte, to take over for several weeks after former director Tulsi Gabbard resigned. I wonder how. Can someone tell me how Clayton was confirmed with 51 votes positive and no one has seen Senator McConnell from Kentucky? So this is our
called in his vote.
This is our roundtable. We're out of time. We're going to start with Keith, then Stephen.
This is our roundtable?
Yes, we're out of time. You
Okay.
talked through. It's 9 o'clock.
It wasn't supposed to be a roundtable, but okay.
Stephen's talked through everything. Keith has talked through everything.
We should have did a roundtable on a more explosive topic.
And Aguna.
Yeah, thank you.
Has come on late without
I
a
agree
video.
with Todd. I don't even think this is all that.
And I'm talking, so you just don't talk over me like I don't exist.
Hey, Stacey, if somebody wants to do what they want to do, if they don't think this is worthy, can they just do their own like we've done before?
Yes, and let me add in, we got 2 comments from viewers. One, Paper Doll says, saying that Haitians are eating their neighbors' dogs is not racist. And Paper Doll said, calling African nations shithole countries is not racist? Question mark. All right, now this is our round table. Let's start with Keith, then Stephen, Aguna, and Cousin Todd. Keith?
Well, I have a more worthy question. Milwaukee, the U.S. Justice Department is suing Milwaukee over an ordinance banning law enforcement, and that's ICE, from wearing face masks and requiring them to show ID. Yet, they are against ID for citizens to prove their citizenship and vote. Something's wrong with that. Yet
a citizen is not working. ICE is working. Put your badge on while you're working.
No. A citizen, why would a citizen not be required to show ID to prove
they
that
never was they never did in the history of America. Surprise.
I have to show ID every time I go and buy liquor. or go into certain other types of venues where I have to
Yes,
show ID.
when you go to a strip
Now
joint,
that is a very
drinking.
insignificant point, and yet
So
to vote
Keith,
is something as important as that. I don't get it.
What if you could walk into the voting booth, say your name, just say your name, and they automatically know whether or not you're a citizen or not. You say your name, you say your address, and through facial recognition, they just come up. Why would you have to carry something? We have the technology. It should be, the onus should be on the government to prove your citizenship, not on the person.
Well, the technology is obviously not good enough. I'll tell you why, because California is still counting votes, and we voted back in June. And yet the technology is not able to get the count. So
that should be the investment. Then. It should be the investment. Then. I don't think when you have a right, it's your right to vote. It's your right to vote. If your right to vote, it should be on the onus should be on the government to prove it. Right? It should be on the government, not the citizen.
No. I'm old enough to remember.
On the government. Why do we pay
taxes? To remember.
It should be on.
Stephen.
I want to address first. Who was a person who made a comment? Was it honey pot or something like that? A honey baby, something?
That's me off, so I get cut off.
No, it was a paper doll.
Okay, that's close to honey pot.
Honey boo boo.
Well, yeah. Well, see, the difference is, let me explain here. Donald Trump saying what he said may be construed as racist. And I know when he said the S-hole countries, he was talking about countries all over the world that are poor, and most of those countries are made poor because of us. So you can screw that as racist. I can give you that. I'm not going to argue about that or anything else you say is racist. But he didn't say something racist. He called a black man a racist. And generally, I know a lot of black people say, I can't be a racist. I just think it was really odd for him to call him out like that. And I know he ain't right in the head. But that's just my first thing, because I'm just gonna that's apples and oranges. It's an okay point, and I can agree with the things you say as it's racist. But he wasn't being racist. He called somebody else a racist. But what Stephen, I want to talk about,
they call him racist.
Sir.
They call him racist, and why they call him racist all the time.
No, I'm just saying he's the president of the United States. He shouldn't be calling one of the best ball players in the world a racist without any basis. That's just. He's the president. He signed up for that. LeBron didn't. He didn't sign up for one day a president calling him out and calling him names. Saying he's a racist and impugning him that way. That's great. I know you're going to take up for Trump, but just you're just not right here. You might be right on other things, but you're not right here. But Stacey, what I want to talk about real quick.
Sound racist. LeBron has said things that.
Okay. But I mean, the president shouldn't even comment about that. So anyway, Vietnam, way back in Vietnam in the 60s, they filmed it. They showed us what was going on. I know some of y'all on the show, I'm not going to call anybody out. Somebody on this show might be old enough to remember that.
We don't have much
time. All right, in Afghanistan, real quick, we saw shock and awe when we attacked them. We saw all that. But now they're saying Iran has just hit some military bases or tried to hit military bases with their missiles, but we stopped all of them. Okay, how come we haven't seen anything? This is 2026. We should have the ability, because we did it back in the 60s, we had the ability to show what was going on so people could see what's going on. But we can't see anything. It's kind of funny, isn't it? You know what it is? It ain't looking good for us, and that's a tell. That's how you know we're not doing well.
Okay, thank you, Aguna.
But what about you? ICE.
She said Aguna.
ICE.
She said
nobody.
What in the world, Todd?
I don't know. I don't know what he's eating, and maybe it's those funky cookies or something, funky brownies.
Jeez, man, Todd, he's all right. But so what's the comment on
something about an election fraud?
Election fraud? Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's chasing a problem that's not a problem. People in this country don't even like to vote. So to say that we have to prove and go through another hurdle to prove our citizenship, I mean, what you're chasing a problem that's not even there. And it's actually going to hurt Republicans in the long run, because that's the reason why you haven't seen a lot of movement on this this voting act, because at the end of the day, you're going to hurt your own voters, because voter turnout in this country is low as it is. How about this? How about make a case to the American people that you should remain in power? How about that? Instead of trying to put hurdles in front of American citizens to prove their citizenship at the ballot box. I mean, come on. Again, if you vote illegally, you can go to jail for a very long time. So people aren't out here trying to vote en masse illegally. Now, a lot of the cases that they are finding is that, someone thought they were a citizen and they went to vote, but the paperwork wasn't there or something like that. There's a voting error at the DMV, which registered people to vote when they shouldn't have. And that's the same technology. NVIDIA, I think, is the same company that has a large defense contract with the United States. So, you'll start looking at the software. You should scrutinize other things as well. But at the end of the day, you're chasing a problem that's not there. It's not about showing ID. It's about looking for a problem that isn't there because you're afraid that you're going to lose a midterm election. But the best way to win an election is to make the case to American people, not preventing U.S. citizens from voting. It's not just, this country isn't in a place where people are running out there trying to vote illegally. It's just not there. And there's no data to support that. This is just a red herring to get people riled up or to try to justify losing the election. Because guess what? If there's voting fraud and the Republicans actually won, the Republicans are in power. So how are you saying there's voting fraud when you've won all the elections? You're in control, yet there's only voting fraud when you lose. That just doesn't make sense. So you're not going to prove that. So no matter what, again, just because fearless leader is saying there's voting fraud doesn't mean there's actually exists.
Thank you, Cousin Todd.
Okay. Voting fraud, the numbers don't pan out about the voting fraud crap. So I wanted to move on to the
state of New Jersey.
Say what?
What about Mickey Sherrill?
And the state of New Jersey. Yeah, Aguna just said that. There was a computer glitch. Aguna just went over that. But you're not a news person, so you wouldn't know. Nevertheless, I want to move on to the UN General Assembly. They adopted a resolution declaring, that was on March 25th, 2026, that the transatlantic trafficking of and racialized trafficking of chattel enslavement of Africans is the gravest crime against humanity in history. Now, that's a fact. 3 countries voted against it. Can you guess what countries those were? I'll tell you. One country is Argentina with their racist selves. The second country is Israel with their racist selves. The third country is the United States with their racist selves. And the United States said the United States does not recognize illegal right to reparations for historical wrongs that were not viewed as illegal under international law at the time they occurred. America is a pig. Now, and then for Israel to go along with that, they're pigs. And they're supposed to be our friend. They got reparations for what happened to them. I can't stay. Israel and Argentina, I want no parts. Two-faced pigs. They got some nerve to vote against it. It's just amazing. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about because
Thank you. We're out of time. You can't go on and on and on.
I was just going to end it by saying
you can do it during the after show. We're out of time. You guys are. I know you're passionate, and I really appreciate your passion.
Oh,
But
shut your pie hole.
we have a certain structure and boundaries to abide by that we have to do in order to run the show, accordingly. So, on behalf of Laguna, the voice of reason, Keith, the constitutional conservative,
I need a vote.
Stephen, the independent thinker,
Nice shirt.
and my cousin Todd. I'm Stacey Johnson. Let's keep this conversation going on Facebook, X, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Check us, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sporlitiks, and like and follow us on TikTok at sporlitiks.com. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. And also, you can talk a little bit more now that the show is officially over. You can talk a little bit more on what we consider our after show, which once I play this music and stop, it's our after show, and then you can talk. Good night.
Yeah, Todd. It's all about showbiz.
So Aguna,
No music. I don't hear the music. Does anybody hear the music?
Aguna, we'll find out after July 31st whether the Justice Department has ordered several states.
Did we do the outro and play the music?
California.
Yes.
Okay.
In California. They have ordered that. These people turn in their voter register, get the non-citizens off of their voter roll. So they have found non-citizens registered to vote in several states. So I just want you to be aware of that. And we'll see what happens after July 31st.
I said to Stacey, ask if everybody has a passport. She never did.
Well, we can do it now.
Are all non-citizens voting for the Democrats?
We have a passport.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Stephen, do you have a passport?
Registered to vote.
So you know there are non-citizens that are voting.
Do you have a passport, Stephen?
Yes.
I don't have one at this time.
In California.
Laguna, do you have a passport?
Yes, I do.
Cousin Todd, do you have a passport?
It expired. No.
Do I have a passport?
Right.
Yes. Surprise.
Yes.
Surprise.
Yeah, you went out of the country last year or so.
Let's walk down this road, Keith. So you know there are non-citizens that are voting.
Yes. Yes.
How many?
I don't know. I told you they're on the voter rolls.
Wait. You know they're
I know how many
voting, but you don't know how many.
No, that's by the report.
How would he know? How would he know how many? They're voting illegally.
I know
how do you count that?
But you're saying they're voting illegally, so obviously you're saying you know who's voting illegally.
They don't know who's voting illegal, but they know they're voting illegally.
You don't know. Do you know who's voting illegally, or you don't know? If you don't know who's voting illegally, then how do you know people are voting illegally?
Stop trying to insult people's intelligence.
I'm not. I'm asking you.
Listen,
because they have caught people voting illegally.
How many?
They stung them, but it's so rampant. You cannot make the count. It's rampant.
It's so rampant. They've caught people, but you can't tell me how many.
They can't catch them all like they can't catch them all coming through the border.
And so all the ones that are voting, are they voting for the Democrats?
See, we don't know.
But
they shouldn't be voting. They shouldn't be voting for the Libertarian or the Green Party either. If they're not citizens, they shouldn't vote for this country.
Well, Stephen, let me say something. Aguna,
you don't know who they're voting for.
Aguna.
We don't know. That's a good point. We don't know. That's a good point. We don't know who they're voting for, but it doesn't matter. You can't vote. You can't vote in Mexico.
Okay, listen.
Aguna.
How do you know that they're voting illegally if you don't know who they're voting for?
I started the conversation by saying the Justice Department, the DHS, has reported. They said that they are giving them a certain date to remove.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
Look, you're not listening.
I am listening. You're talking about the reaction.
Let me finish.
proof. I want proof.
Let me finish.
They wouldn't have to be doing what they're doing if they didn't know that it was going on.
Keith, you're trying to say just because they're asking for these people off their voting rolls that somehow is proof. Okay, how many people we're talking about? Why are they on? Okay, so you should know who they're voting for. Who did they vote for?
It's not relevant. That's not relevant.
Wait. It is relevant because
they can't. It is not relevant because as being non-American citizens can't vote in the United States. It doesn't matter who they vote for. It doesn't matter who they vote for. That's irrelevant. That's a red herring. That's just a red herring. You're trying to just bring something up that makes no sense. Because if you're not an American citizen, you can't vote in America.
The case for voting fraud is that one side is benefiting over the other.
That doesn't matter the motivation of one side or the other. The Constitution says you have to be an American citizen to vote. It doesn't matter the irritation from either side.
Draconian things to make sure that and punish everybody. That's just like you don't want to take away gun ownership from everyone because there are a few bad actors, right?
No,
But
you're punishing everybody. You're punishing everybody that's not an American citizen. They're not allowed to vote. I don't know why you don't get. I don't know why you don't understand that.
No,
I don't know why you don't get it.
Vote. You have to pay $300 to have a passport to vote. Is that fair for you?
Who has to have a passport to vote?
That's what they're saying. That's what's in the SAVE Act. That's the whole point.
That they have to have a passport. Oh, okay, or an ID, or a picture ID, right?
No. Listen carefully.
Of citizenship, a picture ID you can get from the DMV. That's why I'm asking Keith.
How can illegals have passports?
Just a minute, Stephen. This is the reason I said, Stacy, ask who has a passport. Most of us don't have passports, or at least we didn't update them. So this is going to be hard to vote. You can only vote with a passport or a real ID. I don't have the real ID. Do you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, a lot of people don't have that. Now, my license is to be renewed next year. Next year, I will have the real ID. But this is a problem for people. Now you're stopping me from voting unless I get the real ID. I don't have time for that. I want to use my license and vote, or not use my license and vote.
The bottom line of it is this is going to disenfranchise a lot of Republicans.
Of course it is.
You get a whole month.
That's why Republicans don't. They're quiet as kept. Republicans aren't on board with this because the mail-in ballots. Republicans benefited substantially from the mail-in ballots.
And Trump mails his ballot in.
It's interesting that the case for voter fraud. Think about it. You're saying that there's voter fraud out there, but the Republicans won down ballot. They won. They're in control of Congress and they're in control of the judicial branch and the executive branch. So you're in power, yet you're saying there's fraud. So you're kind of questioning your own election. Because at the end of the day, and if you're trying to make the case, hey, we got elected despite all of this, if the Democrats were so good at rigging elections, why wouldn't they win?
Wait a minute. Who needs a passport to vote? Who has to have a passport to vote?
That's in the SAVE Act.
But wait a minute. What's in the SAVE Act? They're saying everybody who needs a passport
to have proof of citizenship.
Right.
The American citizens have to have proof of
citizenship.
So
if somebody has a license, do I have to have proof of citizenship?
Yes. You can't just go off.
I have to have a passport. I should get a passport before the midterm.
That's why I said, Stacey, ask them if they have a passport.
But then my question is, what happened, Keith, to states' rights? Why would the federal government make this decision and the states wouldn't make it?
Only when it's convenient.
Because states don't have the right to declare sanctuary cities or sanctuary states. That's a federal law. And they don't have the right to declare that over the federal government. And that's why states' rights do not matter in this issue when it comes to voting.
Keith, are they going to make you vote? You're going to need a passport to vote, Keith?
No, I have a real ID. It's the same.
No, but I mean, but who's going to have to show a passport? Nobody.
Nobody.
That's
They don't
another
have to.
red herring.
Yeah.
The
You
Heritage
have to show
Foundation.
proof of citizenship. Real ID. How much does a real ID cost?
See, look, they have
$150.
them on their rosters, and they're telling them the federal government is saying that you cannot do this because these people are not legally citizens.
Right.
Not
It
legal
goes against the Constitution, right, Keith? You're the constitutional scholar.
Sure.
Tell them.
It does.
So let me ask
It
you
does.
something. If a
It doesn't matter to
non-citizen
Luna.
vote,
It doesn't matter
It
to
does. If you vote illegally, you'll go to jail.
No, not really. Not here in California.
What do you mean? It's against the law to vote illegally.
No.
But if you vote
They
illegally,
don't get caught. They don't get caught.
why wouldn't they get caught?
Because they don't have to show ID.
They don't have to show anything. They put the name down and they leave, and their vote counts like yours does. These illegals' votes counts as much as yours does. You should be outraged, but for some reason you're not.
Get caught. How do you vote and not get caught?
What that happens all the time? What are you talking about?
You don't have to show anything in California. This is a.
You don't have to show anything in California. It happens rapidly.
Yeah.
So you walk in the voting
Even in
booth
Stacey's
and you
Stacey's
just
state.
vote.
Same
Yeah,
thing
you just walk in, you vote, and you leave.
Yeah, same thing in
Okay,
Pennsylvania.
can I say something? The question was, how do you know? How you know there's no voter fraud? Because Stephen was saying it's rampant voter fraud.
There is. If you don't know there's rampant voter fraud, then you're
Prove it. You haven't proved it. Prove it.
Tell
You're
me
just
how
saying
you
it.
know that.
Sure
You're
it is.
just saying it. You can't
Tell
tell
me
me.
how you know that. Okay,
Sure it
so I'm going to. I'll give you the proof.
I can prove it. Joe Biden had no way he got 81 million votes. That was voter fraud.
So
it's going off your gut. That's what it is.
No, it's not. My gut don't tell me that Joe Biden got 81 million votes, more than Obama, more than anybody. 81 million votes. That's how I know that this crap is rigged.
Okay.
And I can say it's rigged on either side. I don't care, but I know that elections are rigged. I know elections are rigged.
Now we're in the after show.
know how
and you want me
voting
to,
works?
okay, now we're in the after show and you want me to control it, but you don't want me to control
Never
it.
mind. Good night.
You can't walk in there and just vote. You have to have an address. You're in a precinct. You have a voting. Your address is linked up to who's registered to that address. You can't just go in there and just say, okay, this is X amount of person voting. There are checks and balances in place, and they've been there for a long time. Now, all of a sudden, when you feel that you're not making the case to American people, now all of a sudden there's a bunch of fraud and there's a bunch of, let's challenge what's going on. Now, in the case in which people are voting illegally, I came to the United States. I'm a U.S. citizen. I've been naturalized. Okay. I think I'm a U.S. citizen. I go and vote, and the paperwork hasn't caught up yet. So even though I have my citizenship, I'm going to vote, but I haven't been registered to vote, or something hasn't happened in which I vote prematurely. I think I'm a citizen, yet it hasn't gone through. Is that voting illegally? That's more of a clerical error. Or you go to the DMV and you sign up for a driver's license. You're not a citizen. They register you to vote. There was a glitch in New Jersey that doesn't happen all the time, because at the end of the day, you have to check, are you a U.S. citizen? Are you not? There are checks and balances to prove it. And if it was so rampant, you would be able to trace that. You would see it. And they're saying, yeah, do people vote illegally? It happens very small, and it doesn't change the elections. It's people who think they're citizens and are not, or they're not going in there trying to, okay, we're not going to get Trump elected. So we're going to go millions of people are going to go vote. That doesn't happen.
Why does it ask you? Why does it, when you sign up to vote, when you register to vote, why do you? Why does?
Go ahead, Cousin Todd.
Phew. Does anybody know who the Heritage Foundation are? The Heritage Foundation is a Republican think tank. The Heritage Foundation. They did a study from 1982 to 2025. The Heritage Foundation found only 100 cases of voter fraud from non-citizens from 1982 to 2025. 100. Now, take that up with the Heritage Foundation. That's a Republican think tank. They're Republicans. Trump loves the Heritage Foundation. So that's your proof, Stephen. All the voter fraud. So now, all I want you to do, Stephen, is get in your kitchen where you belong and get to cooking. And you better not have no shoes on either. Do you know what that means?
What the hell are you talking about, Todd?
Stephen was supposed to cook, just like you were supposed to send the video of you cooking. And then Stephen said,
what is this all about, Todd? What is this? Why are you trying to? Is this some type of fetish you're trying to impose on it? What is that? Hell is wrong? You just want to see men cook?
Some of the best chefs in the world are men.
Anyway, and he's certainly not one of the best chefs in the world.
Chef Emeril.
Right. But anyway, Stephen said last week he was going to cook this stuff, so I wanted him to cook it. But then he said, he gave me some long, silly story about all the restaurants.
Exactly what he said.
All the restaurants he doesn't shop at and all that, because I cook for myself. And then he doesn't know if he's going to. What are you talking about?
He said specifically, I'm an excellent cook. I can't go out to a restaurant and eat food that is better than what I make. And I'm not bragging, but I feel funny cooking something for the show. But I'll think about it. I wish I could find a restaurant that used as good ingredients as what I use. I use the best of everything. I cut no corners. I use no garbage. It's hard to find a restaurant that isn't garbage.
Okay. So, that means you're going to cook. You're going to cook next week, right?
What the hell are you talking about?
He's just crazy.
Man, I made some crab legs the other day, so I'm gonna go eat them actually tonight. I'm gonna go out and go in my basement and eat some crab legs, some Dungeness crab legs, Todd.
Did you melt some
Wait
butter
a minute.
for that?
Are you saying you have crabs?
Yeah.
Because Stephen just had crabs last week, and I was wondering if. Well, never mind. Just forget I said anything.
Todd, this is Todd After Dark for our viewers who are down here. This is Todd After Dark. He's become extremely frisky.
Wait a minute. But for all this time that everybody's talking to me, I'm writing notes showing it to y'all that I could not get myself off of mute. So I wrote notes saying, "Take me off mute. Take me off mute." And I'm pointing to my mouth because y'all are talking about me, asking me questions. I can't answer you. And this is after show. And I've told you this before, Stacey. When we do after show, that's tacky. That's not right. Don't mute. You didn't mute anybody else but me.
Yes,
that's not right. This is just us talking. No, not on the after party. Not on the after party. And then she left me on mute. She left me on mute.
I muted Aguna.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say to Aguna was, how does he know it's so small, that it's happened so little? He doesn't know as much as I don't know how rampant it is. He's got his opinion or whatever, but he doesn't know either. We both don't know. What I'm saying is we both don't know.
There's nobody been convicted and gone to jail for it.
I just told you the Heritage Foundation from 1982 to 2025. They found 100 cases, Stephen.
Right, because it's also something that can be so easily done. We don't know. I've never tried to vote illegally anywhere.
If it's easily done, people would go to jail.
Yeah, you get your license at DMV, and once you got your license, you show them your license and you vote. That's what they do. But they're non-citizens. No, you don't have to be a citizen to vote. If you go to DMV, and they give you a license, and then you have the ability to vote.
This is the same thing when you said, if you're not for Israel, then you should be hung, tarred, and feathered. Same difference.
So did Glenn Youngkin, did he win the election?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Did Trump win?
I don't trust. I really don't trust elections. I don't trust them. No,
Well,
I don't. I don't trust elections. They've been rigging elections forever. Y'all remember Chicago when all them dead people voted? That actually happened.
No, we don't.
And this is what happens in elections. There's a lot of dirty crap that goes on. It's a lot of crap that goes on in all elections.
But the Freedom of Information Act, you can pull these records and you can compare. There are dead people that are voting. You can go and do the analysis and it'll come out.
Right.
And there are cases where
I'm not talking about dead people voting now. I'm talking about back in the 60s when they didn't have the ability to check all that stuff out. I'm talking about in every different way for whatever the technology is at the time, people take advantage and they cheat. It's just a fact. I don't know that how huge it is or how small it is, but there is a lot of cheating going on.
Now, so if we sit there and say, okay, so Trump wasn't duly elected then.
Right.
How do we trust any of the elections if we're going to throw into question? Because again, the Republicans are the one in power now.
Yeah, I just don't.
Trump
I think
thinking like this. Trump
I think
made
they knew.
you think this way.
Yeah. I mean,
I think
before Trump came on the scene.
I don't know if Trump's had he had to have won that. He had to beat Kamala because she was the worst candidate that ever lived. I don't think that one was rigged.
Listen,
so the one that he won is okay, but the one that he lost.
No. Yep, that's right. Trump made these idiots think like this, and they're so gullible.
No.
Before Trump came along, they weren't talking this voter fraud crap.
They were. Yeah, everybody's talking. Hillary talked about it forever. Everybody talks about it. Anybody that loses talks about it. And that's nothing new, Todd.
Send the clip before you get your head back in.
Sorry, I'll send it in. And don't. I've had enough hits to my head. If you couldn't tell that by the evidence of myself.
All right. It's 9:30, everyone. It's been a wonderful evening. It's been a
nice. We've been on here for maybe 35 minutes. Aguna?
Yeah, listen at this con artist. Aguna, why wouldn't you send a clip? You're crazy.
It wasn't a good clip. I mean, it's kind of blurry. It's kind of hard.
So what? So what? Oh, it's going to be 10 seconds.
I want to make sure it got my good side, Todd. You know how you like the primp and perm in the camera. I don't want it to look. I don't want it to look all messed up.
You don't have a chance. So you're just going to have to deal with what you. You know what they said when somebody went to the hairdresser and they said, "Make me look like Diana Ross," and the hairdresser said, "I got to work with what you bring in here."
That person was you, wasn't it, Todd?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, you wanted to look like Diana Ross.
I'm sending it, Todd. Bye.
Send it. Send the clip.
I'll get it straight. Peace and love.
And you too, Steve.
Peace. All right, peace and love, but not of you, because I don't say peace and love to people who want to bash my head in, man.